Hello everyone, this is Manad from Python Ninja YouTube channel and welcome to the first exception handling tutorials in which we will learn together try except set. Python program execution stops immediately when syntax error or an exception is encountered. What is the exception? The exception is an event that occurs during the program execution to prevent interruption in the normal program flow. How can we handle this exception? Well, the exception is handled by wrapping the code in a try except block. Okay, so we use a try statement and the except to wrap our code. The main task here for exception handling and the try except wrapping is to allow the code to continue execution if there will be like something that prevents the execution, or if there will be error that will prevent the execution. So we can insert a block of code, okay, within a try except, and then restrict another conditions to allow execution in case if we face some exceptions or error during the execution. The try and except statements work together to catch and handle unexpected error or special conditions. Before describing a try except, I want to briefly highlight some of the common errors or like not exceptions as exception, but these are commonly errors that you will face when you go like and start programming with Python. The first error is called syntax error. For example, if I want to identify a variable and the variable is name, and in this name I want to add my name, okay? So we define here a variable and we insert this string inside that variable. If in the same line, for example, I want to print name, okay, and I do that in the same line, okay, then the parser that is like play in the background in Python to analyze to do analysis among the line of codes and try to transfer them to executable code will understand that there is a problem in the syntax, okay, because this line totally hide syntax error. And if I will run this code, I will find here, I will have syntax error, okay, because there is no separator here, and tab or space is not considered a separator between lines, okay. If I will add this semicolon, then the program will be executed because semicolon here in Python is used to divide lines of code or the line of code or the lines of code, sorry. Now what we can do, or we can do also, we can insert the new line or the print name into a new line, so either to separate this one or to have a new line. So this is the syntax error. So the syntax error, it's similar to language syntax, to any language, Arabic or English or any language. So there is like there is a structure. There is predefined structure that will be understandable or even in the interpreter in Python. So we have verb, we have noun, we have object in any language, and here we have to we have to organize the code in a way that is follow good syntax. Okay, so this is the first type of error, which is the syntax error. There is also, we usually import some modules that come with Python, or some modules that we invent. So we use the statement to import, and then we use, for example, math. So if I import a good or already included library, then I will have no problem. But if I want to add, for example, any letter that will make changes to the original name of the library, meaning that this library or this package is no longer available, so it's totally different name than the usual name, then I will have module not found error, meaning that the math A is not located within the built-in Python module. Okay, we have also another type of errors, which is the type error, which is also most common also when you try to code with Python, similar to syntax error or module not found error. If you have your age, for example, your age equal to 35, okay, and suddenly you try to concatenate this with true, okay, then no problem will come, because true, which is a Boolean data structure, is considered a type of constant or integer. So if I want to print this, then I will have here 36. So how many truths I add, then it will be added by 1. So Boolean data structure is type of the numbers. This will be 1, and if I will add false, then will add 0. But what I can expect when I add, for example, 35 with Mohammed, okay, like this, then I will have type error, because the type of integer is not or cannot be added to the string, but it could be added to the Boolean, because Boolean itself is like numerical data structure. Okay, so this is the type error when you try to combine different data structure or different primitive data structures. Okay, like integer with strings, or float with strings, like this. We have also another type of error, which is the value error. So this is the type error. For the value error, if I have, for example, to continue with age, if I have an age list which comprises 30, 40, 50. Okay, what if I want to, for example, remove the first age? We learned in list tutorials, which was in the beginning of this series, we can use dot remove to remove any age. So I want to remove 30, then I want to bring this age list, then I will find that, oh, 30 has been removed. What if I want to remove the kids under 18? For example, I want to remove 18. Okay, and 18 is not exist, then I will have value error, because the value 18 is not located in the list. So this is the value error. Okay, then I will print the first name, the first age, to show you another type of error rather than value error. For example, I want to use indexing operator to print the second age. So you have to be focused that Python start indexing at 0, so the 0 will be the first and 1 will be the second age, and I can access the first age when I submit 0 index. And what if I submit a different index? For example, I will submit 5, and I know that I only have 0, 1, 2 as index, then I will have index error. Okay, also we can also face name error. For example, let us to say my name or n, okay, equal like name equal Mohammed, okay, and now the f name, okay, or former name equal to name to new name, like this. Then we have name error, because this name, which is a new name, is not defined. Okay, okay, because this name and name error, you will not maybe catch it correctly. I have age, and I want to identify the age to 25, and I want to say an age, okay, an age, okay, equal to old age, which is the old age. Okay, now I will find, okay, name error, because this is not defined. But if I will assign the age itself, then it will be as it. So remember the name error when you try to assign anything with anything that does not exist. Also, let us cover the last two things. For example, we will like if you have data, these data are sorted in or listed in a file. We learn together how can we open any file, any text file, CSV file, and this will be here. I want to open my file, okay, and dot text. Okay, if I will run this, then I will find file not found error, because the main path will be my project path I have here, and I don't have my file. So in a case, when I read non-exist file, a non-exist file, then I will find file not found error. And finally, if I have like personal information, biography information, and these are in a dictionary, I will have, for example, name, and this name will be Mira, and I will have, for example, age, and this age will be 30. Okay, we learned that we can retrieve any data based on the key that we submit. Okay, so if we submit the key is name, then we will have the value Mira. But if I want to submit the key is address, then I will have key error, which means that this key, which is address, is not located in the dictionary. Okay, so I think I gave like a short overview among the whole type, the whole error, including syntax error, name error, value error, index error, module not found error, key errors. Okay, now let us go to exception handling. Okay, suppose I have two numbers. Okay, and I want to divide them together. So I will have dividend. Okay, dividend, which will equal here integer, and in this integer I will take input. Okay, so I'm casting them together. Okay, we learned together at early stage how can or what the meaning of casting at input stage. I will say enter the denominator, for example, and then I will have divisor, and this divisor will be also integers of, and this integer, okay, will cast my input into it, and I will say enter the denominator, okay, denominator, okay, like this. I have the result, which will be a variable here that will hold the dividend over the divisor, and now I can say printf, okay, the result is, I will say it will be the result, okay, it will be that. Now if I will try with this code, I will submit the numerator 10 and the denominator 5, it will be 2. Okay, I will have no error. But if I will submit the dividend will be 10 and the divisor will be 0, then I will have 0 division error. Okay, so what shall I do? Then we use a try except to handle these errors. We don't need to see this error anymore. So what I can do, I can use try on the top, then I use this indent like this. Okay, so I have to keep this the indent. I have to maintain the indent, which is the space here. Then I go to new line. I say except. And I can, for example, I will cover different cases here. Just bear with me. I can say formally except exception as a. We can use this as in this. Then I can say print e, okay, which will execute well also here, and it will contain internally a message which show division by 0. So we will no longer see the red text that will show the warning. This is one case, but like in the practice, it's not recommended like to use except exception as it, but already when you make the function or the code, you suppose that, oh, maybe I will have like 0 division errors, maybe I will have value errors or something like. So we can customize it very and I can say instead of exception. So this is valid, and what I will show you is also valid. So I can say except zero division error. So at the time when you type at your keyboard just capital Z, then the zero division error will come to you. Then you can customize the message. Okay, for example, there is zero in the denominator. Okay, when I run this, then I will have 10 here, I will have 0, then I will have there is 0 in the denominator. You can customize any message you want. Okay, so this is how can we stop showing the warning message, or like the message that show that the code has been broken, by wrapping the code in the try except. Okay, now what if I have another scenario? For example, I have 10 here and I will have a, okay, which is a string. Now when I will have, then I will have value error. So I can add as much as I can of this exception. So I can say except, and I say value error also as e. Okay, then you can even add as what you want. Okay, let me just say that. Then you can print, for example, string is not recommended, or sorry, is not or is not allowed. Is not allowed here. Okay, we can see 10. We can use, for example, a, and I will say string is not allowed. So I didn't see this. Okay. Now we learn now how can we list the errors that we have. Okay, just sorry for the mistake. Now we have 10, we have a. So we listed two of the common error for this function, which is the division. We learn now how can we use a try except. We can use exception as it, or we can use the type of the error that I expect to face. I can use it as e, or I can remove as e. So I can say except value division value error, then it works also to me here. Okay, so don't forget that to use e or don't use e. Okay. Also, what we will cover beside that, which is else. Okay, suppose that I will not face any problem in the code, so this will be integer, this will be integer or float. So not a float, it will be integers. Okay, and I will have no exception. Then what I will do, I will use else. Show me the result. Okay, again. Here, if I will face any exception like zero division error or value error, then this message will come to me. Okay, it will be highlighted. But if I will have no problem, okay, these are valid, then exception will not be executed, and I will go to else. Then I will show the result. Let us prove that. I run this code. Okay, stop and terminate. I run this code. Okay, and I have here 10 by 2. Then the result has been appeared here because I included else. So we use else for executing or continue executing the code in case there will be no exceptions to be handled. Okay, but what if I have, or I will have exception, and I want, even if I will have exception, I want to execute also the code. I don't need to stop running the code. Okay, so I use the final statement. Okay, now we learned how to use try except. Then we use else to show the result in this block. But I want also to execute the code or continue execution within the code even if there will be exception. Finally, what we will do in final, I want to print, for example, 100 plus 200. Okay, just I want to print this. Let us continue execution. I will have 10 and the numerator, and the denominator I will put 0 just to activate this 0 division error. Then I have here, okay, there is 0 in the denominator. Okay, then this else will not be activated because else will be activated only, okay, if no exception. But because I have one exception, then the code is continue execution. So I at this point I will not stop the code execution. So the program will continue in execution, okay, because I inserted finally here, okay. Even if I have another A in the denominator, then I enforce the code to continue to be executed. So I hope that I give you the clear point that the try except is used to grab block of code, and this will be valid and give me the result in case I will have no exception. The result can be catched at the under else, and in case if there will be exception, the code will not be stopped. If I use finally, I enforce the code to continue execution. The code, this is for example, just the divisor or our simple implementation of divisor. We can also highlight another example. For example, I can use try. So remember, a try can be nested. How can we nest a try? Do nesting among two tries together. So look at this example. So I want to open file. Okay, so I have file, and this file will be only open, and because the file here will is not exist, so I will say here my file, okay, dot text, and I want to open this file for writing, and this because the file is not exit, it will be created. So here in the project directory I have no file. Okay, then what I will do, I can use another try. So this try will open the file, okay, and another try will use to write inside the file. So I can say here file to write. I will write I live in the Netherlands. Okay. Now what I will do after writing that, I will use finally. Okay, why I will use finally? Because I want to apply file.close. Please go back to files tutorials, because I introduced some tutorials related to file, and we learned together that when I use with this statement or with open, then the file will be automatically closed. But when I use the normal open, I have to say file.close at the end, because the file and its related resources will be reserved in the memory. So we need to do file.close. Okay, so I have in the top try, I open a file, then I use another try because I want to try it and close the file at the end, okay, when I will finish. Okay, but why I use the top file? Sometimes, okay, instead of using W here, I suppose that the file will be exist. Okay, so now I will do except, for example, IO error. Okay, I will print, for example, IO error as it. Okay, so let us execute this code. What we will have here, we have IO error here. What is the IO error here? If you try to read non-exist file, then there will be error in input output, so we cannot reload a file. Okay, so this is error related to input output file error. But if you use the argument W, which is open a new file and write to it, then we will have here a new file, my text file, and will show you that I live in the Netherlands. And now I have no IO, even if I will have add, because I have here the file. I hope that I covered with you the primary topics related to exception handling, and we will give. I plan this tutorial to be in 3 parts. The first one is the try excepts and the related errors. Then we will use arrays, statement, and exception customization, and finally we will use assert. Thank you for your contribution to this YouTube. Please try to leave your like and try to share this video for charity.